to run through our top 10 here. Number 10, Destiny. I know that's a
I wish that was higher on the list.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I think Andrew would have it lower, if at all.
Yeah, well, Destiny 2.0,
Okay.
it swung me.
Okay.
It swung me. I'm back on Destiny's side now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't love it like I thought I would at first, and I think a lot of players are in the same boat. Came back to it the following summer. So this past summer.
Well, that's what I did too.
And they fixed a lot, and it was addictive for me.
Yeah, that was the first game I had when I got my Xbox.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I started playing it. I couldn't get into it. I really didn't. I didn't understand it.
No, there's not a good story at all.
Couldn't get into it at all. I don't think I even made it off the Cosmodrome maps.
Yeah. It's old Russia. You're still there.
And I stopped playing it. And I went and picked up other things. And I came back to it maybe 4 months ago. And not even knowing that they redid all this stuff. And all of a sudden
Where's Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, all of a sudden the voice of the ghost is different. And I was like,
Nolan North from Uncharted.
Yeah. I didn't know what happened, but I was like, all right, this is kind of better.
Yeah, they're building that world nicely. I mean, inevitably Destiny 2 will come around, or its full sequel.
Yeah.
Because I think they're actually starting to kind of slowly ramp down on content for this. There's not going to be any more major releases, they said.
I mean, I've played all the expansion packs, except I haven't played the Taken King yet.
Okay, and Andrew has.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the swinging point for you.
Right. Yeah, it was. I hadn't played Destiny, and because I got rid of my copy because I just got so frustrated with it, with the loot system. I would play 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, and have nothing to show for it. Like when I was in my heyday of Destiny.
Yeah.
And then this one, it was like the first hour I was playing, I got a purple legendary drop, and like things were happening more. And I was like, this is more rewarding. You get that feedback cycle. Yeah, this is good stuff. And yeah, it was. The story was all right. Didn't really pay much attention to it. It's more about me and my buddies playing together and.
Yeah.
Just getting that reward and getting the items, and so you can progress.
A shared world shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I'm down. I loved it. Went through it again in July and was totally back on board with it. Number 9, Infamous Second Son. That was again top 3 for me for game of the year last year. Like the previous Infamous games, but I think this one was probably like the first really, really good looking PS4 game for
this
me.
Is a beautiful game.
I don't even know what it is.
Gene, why are you even here, man? I'm just kidding. Gene's got a lot of knowledge.
That had the look of a next-gen game. Like that, I feel like that was one of the first games that looked next-gen.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Set in Seattle, that was awesome. Climbing the Space Needle, I remember immediately taking screenshots of that.
Is this a PS exclusive? Or?
Yes, it is a...
Okay, so this is why
Gene's
I don't
an
know.
Xbox guy, that's fine. It's fair. I like Xbox better too, but my PS4 is awesome, so that's why we're talking about this. But I loved it. I actually played through it twice, and played it the good way and then the evil way.
Yep.
And I didn't really care for the evil ending. It's not worth it if you're looking for that ending, but just to play through it and get the different powers, totally worth it.
Yeah, the ending with the evil ending wasn't cathartic at all. Like it was just, I didn't like it.
There's Anakin Skywalker, right? Like you're just kind of like this whiny kid, and it's like,
Yeah, it wasn't that great, but. As far as you guys said, like it looking like the next gen game, I remember I'd put on the neon powers just to watch what it looked like when I'd zip around. Like it was just
gorgeous,
so beautiful.
It was so good. I hope we get another one of those.
It's coming.
Maybe
it's coming.
Probably not the same, not universe, but like same character. They'll probably branch off into other ones. And number 8 was a sleeper hit this year, Rocket League. My goodness, that came out of nowhere. Can you guys weigh in on that at all?
Yeah.
That's coming to Xbox also.
Did you play Rocket League?
You don't need a huge budget to make a great game nowadays.
Yeah.
You don't need a gigantic budget to wow people anymore.
Maybe we'll just make one ourselves. Huh? Anyone know how to make a game?
No, not at all.
No, yeah.
We don't want to talk about games. We don't know how to play games. So that's not a good idea.
Yeah, Rocket League, so much fun. It's just so simple. 3 cars that are jet propelled, and you hit a big ball into a goal. Who would have thunk it? It's so much fun.
Think about that. It's 8 on our list. It's above Infamous, Destiny, Battlefront, Call of Duty.
And that's maybe there's something to be said about simplicity. You can just jump in, and you learn how to angle your car the right way and stuff. But oh man, it is just you can play that game for hours. Just pop it in and go for it.
That's gonna take I think even the magnitude of that game to a new level when it comes to Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to be sharing it with a lot more in terms of install base.
Mhm.
And now they're doing an ice hockey expansion for it too. So
Oh my
instead of
gosh.
on a
I don't
field
think
like
I
a
know
soccer
that.
pitch,
I don't think I
it's
didn't know
hockey.
that.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna be
man.
like ice. It should
What have
be,
I been doing?
interesting.
So you're going down.
Oh man. Well, yeah, absolutely buying that when it comes out for Xbox One. I said it last week. I missed it when it was free on PlayStation Network. Like the last day it was available, my buddy was. I couldn't get home in time to do it. And he was just, it was the worst. He told me about how awesome it was, and
I had to yell at my brother. I said, "You gotta get home. You gotta download this today. It's the last day." And that's like that. Free games with PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
I guarantee. I have no scientific fact to back this up, but them making that free, I bet that spurned their sales so much for PC.
who would have bought that?
Right, but now all of a sudden you got this word of mouth, and like with me, I was telling all my friends, "You gotta get Rocket League. It's so much fun," and they did, and it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such great promotion for such a small studio, small game.
Yeah.
But look at it now.
That's like
It made top 10 on Geekiverse. I mean,
dude,
come on.
If you make top 10 on Geek, like your sale numbers will stay the same. So
might drop a little.
oh my gosh, those guys like it. Yeah, it's a little bit like iDarb was, but much higher level. Like iDarb came out for Xbox in February, free game, and the esports on that took off. So
Mhm.
they learned a lesson from that, maybe. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5. Do we really need to talk about this one? I mean,
I don't think so.
I
It's,
think
it's
that's-
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's GTA.
What's left to say?
Don't troll us for not being in the top 5. Number 6, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. Jeff, you said last week that you thought it would be the definitive game of the generation, or this year so far, if Kojima was able to really finish his vision on it.
Yeah, you could do an entire segment on the whole Kojima Konami feud right now, but there were definitely some production hindrances with that, and I mean, for as amazing as the game was, you saw where they maybe wanted to do a little bit more, and he just couldn't. In particular, the latter half of the story kind of just felt like a little bit of a rehash, a little bit of, okay, we're out of ideas, things like that. Great game. It's
That's
just
unfortunate, too.
It's just it couldn't reach that apex level that Kojima probably wanted to get it to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that situation is not looking any better.
What situation? He's on vacation.
So, yeah.
Konami says he's on vacation. He's on vacation, right?
Yeah, that's right. You could go to the Game Awards, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Konami's not winning that PR battle.
No, not at all. I hear they may want to get out of gaming. Like they do a lot of other things overseas, like everyday stuff. But look it up; it's pretty crazy. Like they sell like you'll see their name on like water bottles, and it's crazy. So it's not. It's like if Microsoft were to do other stuff here than just gaming and PCs. So we're getting top 5 here. Last of Us Remastered. I don't think that's a surprise. That was the game probably of the generation for PS3. I will say probably unpopularly that I liked The Last of Us, but for some reason it didn't grip me like it gripped a lot of other people. I don't know what I missed from it, but
I'm with you.
it's a
I'm with
really,
you.
really good game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But people swear up and down by this like nothing can touch it. So you feel that way, Andrew?
I think I'm kind of with you guys. I played through once, really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I'll ever play it again.
Same here. I that was good enough for me,
Mm-hmm.
and the end was nice. I liked where it went
Yeah.
with that
Ending
dark,
was good.
Oh,
like
yeah.
is
Appropriate.
ooh, not a good guy, but kind of a good guy.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me. I just didn't. I don't know. It doesn't reach that level for me. Like
That might be one of those games that because the story was so I don't know if profound is the right word for it, but it was an involving story.
Yeah.
That maybe that's one of those ones you come back after a couple of years and play again, and then
That's my hope.
experience it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Speaking of games you come back to, number 4, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. I'm playing through right now and just about to start 3. Those games were my favorite PS3 games, maybe minus Heavy Rain.
See, this right here is the one thing that makes me want to go out and buy a PS4, because I remember seeing commercials for Uncharted 3 a couple years ago, and had no clue what it was, didn't know it was a PlayStation exclusive, and was in awe by the commercial, and then at the end, PlayStation exclusive.
It's a system seller,
Yeah.
for sure. And that, if you are in Gene's camp, if you're just getting into PlayStation, that's where I would start. Start right with Uncharted Collection, because those games are superb. And Uncharted 4, like, it can't get here fast enough for me.
And it's so funny because when the very first Uncharted came out on PS3, there was a lot of questions about whether it had the potential to be a marquee franchise. People question, can, a clean cut, average Caucasian looking guy sell an entire system? And he ended up doing so. Nathan Drake ended up.
He's kind of the
selling it.
PlayStation mascot.
Yeah.
It was Crash Bandicoot at 1st.
Mhm.
It went through its phase with a few other ones, and I think he still is.
Something about Naughty Dog. They can sell
Yeah,
mascots.
Naughty Dog is it's a phenomenal
It's
company.
very true.
If we're talking about Naughty Dog, I want another Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, dude, tell me
Oh,
about it. Bring
that'd be
that
sick.
back.
That would be sick.
I would buy a PS4 to play Jack and Daxter.
Bring back Jack and Daxter.
Love Jack. and
I
Daxter.
can't argue that point. I would love that too. I think everybody would, right?
Yeah.
Naughty Dog really doesn't make any bad games. They're top tier development. So top 3 now. Number 3, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Swept a lot of game awards this year. What can you guys speak to for that game?
Polish studio.
Polish studio. We got Mr. Pavlak Polska over there. He loved it. Graphically beautiful. Big world.
Technically, one of the most technically impressive games I've seen in a long, long time.
Andrew kept getting stuck on side quests, right?
Oh, to be honest,
Distracted.
I still haven't finished the game.
Oh my
Because-
gosh.
And he got it right away.
No, here's the thing. I got stuck. I can't help it. Whenever I see the question mark on the map, I gotta go to the question mark. I just got to the second island, so like the second act, I guess, of the game.
Jeez.
I just got the Skellige.
You are going to
Seriously,
pump
I
some
just got the
Skyrim
skeleton.
hours into this game.
I need to, right? But it's
Yes.
just it's been backlogged. But as far as The Witcher goes, love the first one, love the second one. I've read all of the English translations of The Witcher books. Just the entire world and universe that's been made around this character is astounding. And
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I think that the next Witcher book comes out in January or February, sometime like April
Yeah.
or springish, winterish, and I just can't wait. And just the story alone, technically super impressive.
Yeah.
The story also ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And CD Projekt Red is so good at. They are made to make The Witcher. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it is a hand-in-hand perfect marriage.
Mhm.
And I am excited to see what they do next. Because I think this is the conclusion to the Witcher trilogy, at least for now. I think they'll do more Witcher games down the road. But
Yeah.
they're rumored to be working on something new. And sign me up.
Yeah, and The Witcher it's Polish. It's by Andrzej
Mm-hmm.
Sapkowski, I think. So it's big for them.
Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely.
for them for CD Projekt Red it was also a labor of love, and you can tell it's a labor of love for them. They love it.
Oh, yeah.
See, I didn't get this game because I thought about it, but then I figured it's going to be a game that I'm going to want to dump a lot of time in, and I'm going to want to see it all the way through the end.
Yes.
And I think it just came out a little too close.
You needed to clean your plate for another game that was coming
Yeah,
out.
for
We'll
another
say.
game we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I knew that once that game came out, ain't nothing else going in my system for 6 months.
Yeah, he's got a padlock on it, that's for sure.
So I didn't want to get invested and get halfway through or 75% of the way through, and then just go, oh, see you in 6 months.
Yeah, it's hard to go back. Leads us to number 2, Batman Arkham Knight. So that was the conclusion to the Arkham series for the time being. They'll come around again. Batman is with the Arkham series, it's my favorite series of all time. Like, that's how high it is. It's the pinnacle for me. I thought Arkham Knight was a satisfying conclusion. I did about 97% of this game. I went in and out with the Riddler trophies. So I've actually never seen the third and final ending. I'll say that. So please don't spoil it for me if you know me. But Arkham City was my favorite game of last gen,
Yeah.
and I hope we get a remake of those. Did you guys finish or touch on Arkham Knight at all?
I did Arkham Knight. I have not. I finished the main story,
And we don't want to spoil anything for anybody with this.
but I did not finish 100%. So I haven't activated the Nightfall protocol.
Okay, gotcha. So Andrew, what did you think this was up in line with the other games? Was
No.
anything
Oh.
disappointing about it?
I consider myself a pretty serious gamer. Normally, when I get into a new game, give me 5 minutes with it. I got it figured out. Batman, I wouldn't play it for 2 days, and I'd go back to it, and I couldn't remember how to play it. there are so many. You use each face button for 5 different things. You'd hold like L1 and press square as opposed to pressing square and holding R2. And there was so many things that I couldn't even get out of combat. Like I remember I had stopped and there was this, because there's those things where you rescue the firefighters. I had to rescue a firefighter from a group of thugs beating him up. I must have died 30 times, and finally I'm done. I can't do this anymore because they made everything so complicated.
I could have done without the Batmobile stuff.
Right,
the
that too.
Batmobile.
But Arkham Asylum was great. I really liked Arkham City, but with this one I feel like they put too much into it, and it made it to me prohibitive. So I couldn't do it.
Okay, fair enough. Jeff, any opinion on this?
I mean, hey, after playing Monster Hunter and Dark Souls as much as I have, there's not too much that I feel is overcomplicated to me. So maybe that's just me, but I mean, I loved it.
There was a definitely a different level of challenge to this one.
Yeah.
I felt like they thought they had to introduce a new element like the Batmobile, and it's cool, but it's a little too gimmicky and
way too repetitive.
It's too prominent for me, and I think that they could have gotten away with it with leaving it out, knowing that this was the final game in the trilogy, and just I think everyone would have been happy with it. They didn't need to do it.
Like I like the aspect of the Batmobile, but they took it from, having it as like a cool gimmick to, traverse around the city.
You had to use it in certain parts.
And like use it in certain parts. Like I liked using it for like the Riddler trophies and stuff like that.
Sure.
But when it came time to like, you had to fight off like 30, 40 of them tanks. It got too repetitive, and then like,
where is Arkham Knight finding the money to fund that? That's kind of crazy.
Like, I
some logistical problems with this game.
I didn't enjoy the Batmobile stuff.
Bringing back battle tanks from N64.
Well, regarding what you said about like Dark Souls, I love Dark Souls. I played original Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, got the Scholar of the First Sin, and I love it. But it was just, this game was so prohibitive to me because of all the stuff they put into
I'll tell you,
it.
Teach his own.
I can agree with Andrew on that. Like, all throughout all the Arkham games, especially with like the quick fire stuff, half the time it was just button mashing. Whatever I happened to, quick fire. Oh, great! A quick fire to battering. Oh, I just did a flip. I did a cartwheel. I put a gel down.
That's something you could just match on to look awesome.
What button do I have to hit to explode that gel now? Like,
This guy's coming at you with a knife, press this button. This guy's got an electric stick, press this button. This guy's got a gun, this guy's got a shield. What do I do? What do I do? And then finally
no, not that combo. I want to do this. BBA, not X.
BB-8.
It's like a Street Fighter game after a while.
Yeah.
Finish him.
That's Mortal Kombat. That's Mortal Kombat.
Whatever.
You're thinking,
Crossover.
I never got into Tekken or Mortal Kombat. Not my cup of tea.
That brings us to game number 1 on the list.
This is his cup of tea.
So, wait.
Well, I wonder what game this could possibly be.
Imagine if we left this game off our list. My gosh. If it was possible for a YouTube channel to be on fire, it would happen.
Yeah.
So, it received only first or second place votes. So a lot of the games on here, maybe Batman would receive a second place or a 15th place, depending on the person. Fallout 4 is our current game of the PS4 generation so far. Let's save Gene here a little bit. Jeff, thoughts?
Please let me hear your thoughts.
Thoughts on the legacy so far for Fallout 4? Did it live up to the hype?
Absolutely. The world they created is so believable and so in depth. I mean, it's apocalyptic wasteland, and yet there's a culture to it. There's different factions of people who are very different from one another. And just speaking to the story, I mean, they created the world building in there is so in depth, which I think is always cool when you have a world that's supposedly destroyed.
Andrew's done a few Let's Plays on these. We call them Geek Plays, of course, because we got to brand ourselves. So with that being said, it's on the YouTube channel, and
check it out.
those are fun to watch. I know we'll have a lot more, but Andrew, you're definitely liking this game.
Oh yeah, and I completely agree with what Jeff said. And it's not only did does it have a culture to it, but this wasteland is alive, which is almost a paradox when you think about it.
Oxymoron.
But it really is, and it's something about it. And I mentioned in one of my videos how in Fallout 3 and in New Vegas the environments were very bland. And this environment, just the environment itself as you're walking through, it feels more alive, it feels more interesting. And when you have that as a baseline to then put on incredible stories and all these factions, it just takes off.
So we come to our resident Fallout nut, Gene. What can you formulate a thought on this? He loved it. Did it live up to your hype? Let's start there, because you have always loved Fallout. This is huge expectations. Is it? Do you see yourself playing for this for a long, long time?
Like I said, it is not going to leave my console for 6 months.
There you go. That might tell the whole story right
I'm
there.
not going to play anything else for the next 6 months. I will play it, I will beat it, and I'll start again, and I'll play it again, all the way through.
I know people have made like 25 characters for this game. Like they keep going back and customizing, and they.
Yeah.
Do you use power armor?
No.
Oh.
I really don't. I collect it. If I come across it, I will grab it. But I really don't use it at all. I have my workshop built in Sanctuary, and I have all my power armor just up along the wall.
Okay.
You feel like Tony Stark with a bunch of like
Yeah.
Mark Twain. That's how
that's
my
kind
like,
of
garage
what
thing.
I'm trying to do. Like I've seen a few like pictures of stuff that other people are building, and I see stuff that I like, and then I try to go build it, and I don't understand how some of the stuff gets built.
Minecraft meets Fallout.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Like you said, you're not a good builder.
No.
I'm not. Andrew's probably better at building stuff
yeah.
in Fallout than I am because I don't have
Watch
a
our
Minecraft.
MTV Cribs video.
Yeah.
There you go.
I should have played with some Legos as a kid. What, you didn't play with Legos growing up?
But Fallout, where do I begin?
Well, you reviewed the game, and
yes, my review is up
So
on
it's
the Geekiverse.
at thegeekverse.com, and you scored it 9.75? Did I- I'm
9.5.
sorry. 9.5.
9.5.
Okay, I apologize. 9.5.
9.5.
So let me ask you this, because we know that how awesome it is in terms of quality and scope and just beauty, but like in terms of shortcomings, any shortcomings to this game, anything you wanted more of, or to be
Wanted
done better.
more of? I think they went and made it a little too complicated with the overall choice that you have to end up making.
Interesting.
Because in Fallout 3,
Spoiler alert.
well, Fallout
I'm
3.
asking you.
Well, no,
I don't
I'm
know
not.
what's coming.
I'm not going to spoiler anything for Fallout 4. But for Fallout 3, like your choice at the end was either side with, your father, and
So there's a crucial choice, but
crucial choice, but it was one or the other.
okay.
Fallout 4, there is 3 factions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, there's 4 main factions.
Okay.
One of them, the Minutemen, kind of is just there. They're there. You're part of them, but they don't really necessarily care what you do so long as it's protecting the wasteland. So they don't really factor into the final decision. But the final decision, you either got to side with the Institute, the Railroad, or the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm at a point in the game now, and I still am, that I've gotten to a mission with the Institute where if I go through with this mission,
There's no turning back.
there's no turning back. It's going to piss the other 2 off.
You're done. You got to make
And
sure.
then I'm going to be out with the Brotherhood of Steel, out with the Railroad, and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm trying to do everything I can for the other 2 factions until my only choice is to make a choice between, all right, do I want the Institute, the Railroad, or the Brotherhood of Steel?
There's so much choice, there's too much choice.
Exactly, there really is. It really has made it difficult for me to choose. Like, at first I thought, when I first started, I'll side with the Brotherhood of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, maybe I'll go with the Institute. And I don't know.
See, Fallout players are very indecisive, I've learned. But we definitely need to wrap it up. So far, let's just one last thing. Jeff, game of the generation for PS4 so far?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. Andrew, what is your game of the generation so far?
This has to be PS4 exclusive.
Nope, just PS4 console, so it can be exclusive or not.
I gotta go with Fallout. I mean, it just got everything.
Gene's got to go with Fallout. I'd be
Fallout.
shocked if he said anything else.
Yeah.
I am at Batman Arkham Knight, believe it or not. Shadow of Mordor is probably a close second. But I mean, this kind of shows how diverse our tastes are.
Those are both games I hated.
Yeah. See? Andrew's just a bully. So, with that being said, what's your game of the generation so far? Are we way off with our top 25 list? We do want to hear your comments below. Don't forget, we are giving away a code for Final Fantasy Realm Reborn.
Yep.
Okay. So definitely like and comment. We appreciate that. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at @_Geekiverse. Facebook. I'm going to try this again. Facebook.com/Geekiverse. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching.